Morning, mate. How's it going?
Good, thanks. And you?
Yeah, good, thank you. So
How
yeah,
comes you sat this one out?
just because I didn't,
Hasn't retested.
just because of this range here to the left was very messy. If you look
Hmm.
above this resistance, we have like a lot of issues, literally like 8, 9 pips away. So I
Yeah.
kind of thought above 140, 150 is gonna be better. I'll do it literally. I'll
Okay.
explain in just one sec.
No problem, bro.
2 secs. Okay, cool. Um, so yeah, so basically, yeah, I was looking at the buys, because this candle closed above this area, which it did look good, but my only issue was, there's a resistance like 5, 6 pips away, and then there's another area of issue. So I always thought, okay, well, once we basically start closing above 140, 150, or 140, 160, if we start to create some support above this area, then I think there's a higher probability for us to continue up. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Sure.
But I did anticipate the buys because I was looking at the 4 hour time frame. I don't know if you watched the webinar last night. And then basically what I said once, or if you looked at the webinar as well, I spoke about on the daily. So if the daily candle can break the high of the previous daily candle, then there's a high chance that we can continue up because of the way that the previous daily candle rejected this support. And then if we take a look on the 4 hour, I said, okay, well, this is the previous daily high, so we would need price to be closing above this resistance here. And then we take a look on the 1 hour,
Yep.
and then yeah, so pretty much it's playing out, but yeah, a lot of the moves happened. So this candle was oh wow, like a 30 pip candle. But yeah, I wasn't really expecting it to do it then. What I was expecting once it closed above, I was thinking, okay, well, it's probably going to start to break through this area, which is good because then there's going to be some pullback for London Open, create some support and continue. So that's what I'm kind of banking on. Um,
Yeah.
because then once we start breaking above 143.80, then we have further clean candles as well to the upside. So just have to wait and see.
Cool.
Plus, the thing was, is I'd literally just woken up when this candle had like closed above, so it was like one of those.
Yeah, same.
I didn't want to like jump straight into a
Jump
trade.
straight in, yeah.
Yeah, when I'd literally just opened my eyes. So it's one of those. If you miss it, you miss it. So
Yeah, no, that's fair.
could have potentially took it as well once this 15-minute candle closed, but
Yeah, I think I took it after the 15-minute close, the second 15-minute close bullish,
mm.
that small bullish candle, and then it broke the high.
Oh, you mean this bearish candle?
No, no, no. Sorry, the one after that.
Uh,
So the
over
not the
here?
big one, the small one. Yeah, just there.
Oh, you took it over here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, made sense. Yeah, we'll see. I think if there's some pullback and then some support formed, then I think London Open's gonna take us pretty good. Because I was looking at the daily, I was like, okay, maybe this move down was like because if you think we started to go bullish last week, and institutions and things like that were kind of closed then, right? So maybe this was a pullback because they wanted to get the better buy before we started to continue back up
Yeah.
again. And then, the condition for buys for me was if we can break this previous daily high. And yeah, looks like it did do that. But I was kind of expecting it to happen like once I got on the stream, not literally once I woken up. But there you go. So yeah. Morning, YouTube. I need to change this quick. Morning. Did you get in the buys or took it when the 15-minute pullback? No, I didn't take these buys. No, I was a little bit busy for a sec. Yeah, I saw the. So when I was just explaining, when I first woke up, I saw that the 30-minute candle closed above this resistance, and you know, if the range was clean, I probably would have like taken it. But I explained in my Asian session analysis here that I was a bit concerned about this area because it was very messy. So I was like, okay, well, once we start breaking above 140, 160, that's probably gonna be that's probably gonna be the best place to look for buys at that point. But it seems as though we had a lot of volume at 7 a.m., which is fine, because hopefully what we're gonna see is some form of pullback, around London Open and then a continuation. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. If we can form some support after we've created a high, I think it's going to be pretty good to continue. Would you take the trade after this 30-minute candle close, stop loss below it? I think if I was at the charts, I would have been in buys, just because we see how. So when you first woke up, you're not all there, are you? So looking at it now, like how I would view it is, okay, well, we closed above this area. This candle closed above. What's good about this candle is you see how it wicked, and it wicked into this resistance, right? So effectively, it rejected the resistance, but it still closed above. So when I see a rejection of an area, but it's still closing above, that means the next candle will be the candle to break it. So I definitely would have been in buys, I think, had I been down at the charts, but it's just how it goes.
Well, that makes me feel better.
Yeah, man. As well, on the 15-minute, something I look for a lot is this weak 15-minute candle, because as this next one came up to break the high, you're anticipating volume to break through this minor area and then continue on.
Yeah, that was my idea.
So I think it was a pretty good move. It just happened a little bit earlier than I anticipated. So yeah, it is what it is. No FOMO over here. So if you missed this move, if you missed this push, we are now looking for some form of pullback, support formed for some continuation, right? Let's take a look on the 1 hour. So even if you look on the 1 hour time frame, you had a nice 1 hour candle come up and close above this area as well. So there was a few confirmations. It just so happened that this area was messy to the left. I would have been more confident to take buys, let's say, when I first woke up, if, let's say, this wasn't here. Like, if this wasn't here, this whole mess, and we just had this clean candle to the left, this one here, right? If that was there and that mess wasn't, I would have been like, yeah, we're heading up. We got clean candles to the left. We're gonna tap into this zone here, but yeah, it just was mess. But when you do see the mess like this, and you're seeing candles, closing strong above, a lot of the times you have to say to yourself, okay, well, more than likely, the volume is gonna break it. You know, that's what you kind of have to think. So, but there you go. Let's take a look at the 5 minute, because that would have been, yeah, it was the 7:05 candle. Boom. Yeah, so just gonna wait over here, because with London Open, I'm expecting some form of pullback today, because we've already moved so much, you know. Like, when I see a big move before London session, I would expect a pullback. Whereas, let's say we were setting up like this pre-London, and then just before London Open we closed above, I would expect London Open volume to continue, right? But we've already moved up, so now I'm expecting London Open to do some form of pullback. So let's focus on the 15-minute here. But while we wait, because can't take buys now, because, you know, price is bullish. It's making a high. We don't know where the high is gonna be, so we're not trying to be heroes. Just gonna wait to see things that we want to see print, or what I want to see print. This is a move I've been waiting for since Asian. Yeah, Asian was awful. I mean, I think it kind of broke down below support. It did break down below support. Tried to create some resistance, but came back up in the range. So yeah, Asian session was a bit messy there. But if you took the trade, you just explain, won't 140, 100 be a problematic area? It's not that it's a problematic area. It's okay. What I mean is, right, is this range here is not a good range, right? In most cases, you would look at this range and be like, okay, well, there's too much mess to the left, right? But okay, when there's times of volume, right? When there's a time of volume and you're getting confirmations like this, okay, you can still take the trade because you're expecting the volume to break through this mess, right? I say the only reason it put me off with the mess is because I just woken up. So when I'm just woken up, I'm not going to be silly, right, and take a trade when I've literally just first opened my eyes, you know, because it's not, I'm not focused, I'm not, I haven't measured the stop, I haven't planned for this trade just yet. I mean, I planned for it last night because I was expecting some potential upside, but I hadn't, you know, I'm not on the charts, I'm not fully prepared, so I wasn't willing to take it. But what I'm saying is, you know, when I'm now back down here, you know, fully awake and alert, I would say, okay, same situation. If it happened just now, I would look at this candle and I'd be like, okay, it closed above. We had the confirmation. It tried to go up to break this resistance. We can see that because of this wick. It couldn't break it. So then what you have to say to yourself is, if it couldn't break it, but it still closed above, that's suggesting that it's paving way for another candle and more volume to break it. Okay, so when the next candle's coming up, you're expecting it to break the high and continue on, because you're expecting with volume that the next candle is going to break it, you know. But you have to be, that's the worst thing, the amount of losses that I've actually taken in the past from just waking up and taking a trade straight off the bat. You know, I always like to wait till I get down to the charts, and then I see it from a bigger picture and a better picture, really. But yeah, I mean, the analysis was all correct from last night anyway, because what I discussed was the fact that if we look on the daily, right, this daily candle, it came all the way down to this support, but it rejected it because it closed bullish, but it closed a weak bullish. So when I see a weak bullish candle close like this, there's always two things that are going to happen. Always. The first thing that's going to happen is that this daily candle could just come down and fill the wick and break the low and continue. That's something that happens a lot of times, because this was like the the initial push and then a retracement, and then the next day you see further push, right? But in this case, I said, okay, well, sometimes what's going to happen because of the way the candle rejected support, I think if the next daily candle breaks the high of the previous daily candle, if you look left at that point, we have a clean move back up to retest. To retest the high. I always yawn a lot when I'm in the mornings. Yeah, so if we break the high of the previous daily candle, we have clean candle to the left to retest the high that was created last week. If we look on the 4 hour, so where was it? So we was over here in the Asian session. No, we was here. So when this daily 4 hour candle closed bearish, I was like, okay, well, you know, there's a potential for price to continue down at that point. But obviously, we're not really sure yet because, you know, there's some issues at this wick over here because this kind of rejected that zone. So the 4 hour wasn't a strong enough confirmation at all. So you needed to wait. And then once this 4 hour candle closed bullish in the Asian session, you notice how it created a support. So once this 4 hour candle broke the high of the previous 4 hour candle, that also was a confirmation for buys in its own sense, you know, because it respected the Asian 4 hour low, but it broke the, you know, high volume point of Asian session high, and now it is continuing up to the target that I had. See, all these zones were left from the pre-Asian session analysis, you know, so it's nice to see the analysis play out. But yeah, I think we're going to see some form of pullback. So this is the London Open candle now. So what I'm kind of looking for here is hopefully some pullback. But if it continues, then, you know, it's still fine. You know, if I missed the move today, I missed the move. That's just how it goes. You know, if it happens at 7 a.m. and I wasn't ready, that's just life. But we'll still see how we get on, because we know that at any point when price makes a high, there's an 80% chance that high is going to get retested.
Yeah, secured.
You secure positions?
Yeah, 8 pips.
Nice.
That'll do.
Yeah, nice. Yeah,
I know we've got volume coming in now, but I'm just worried about that retracement, and I'd hate to see it go from 8 pips back to my entry. So
yeah, it's true. That's true. I think, yeah, that's not. Yeah, I think securing is perfect. So you took the buys up over here somewhere, yeah?
So my entry was 140241.
201.
241.
Okay.
241. Yeah, 241.
Okay, yeah. See, so for you, I would say, obviously it was still a valid trade, but obviously you always want to see how could you have taken the better trade, and obviously it would have been this breakout here, because then you could have caught this big candle. So the reason why this candle didn't was because it didn't have enough volume to break this resistance. So just bear this concept in mind, is that when you see a candle wick, say, let's say, to a resistance, and it failed to close above, say, this area, but it closed above this area, that means that it's waiting for more volume to break it. So then what you have to say is, okay, well, it still had enough volume to break this resistance, so maybe the next one is going to be the one to break through this zone. So I think that would have been, that was the move. So that's the only way you could have caught this big move here from the bottom. But it's just one of those things, like, yeah, it was a bit of a tougher move to catch, but it made complete sense.
Morning, Harrison. Did you catch that move or not?
Nah, man, literally happened just as I'd woken up.
Yeah.
Literally, I set my alarm for like 6:55, and I always take like 10 minutes to fully come into the world, and yeah, just watched it go. But yeah, we've just been discussing this move and how you could have caught it, and why it did what it did. And so yeah, just at the moment, you know, since price is making a high right now, we know that if there's going to be some retracement because of, you know, London Open, because London Open, pre-London's already pushed up so much, sometimes we're going to see some form of pullback at London Open. And then if we can create some support, there's a higher chance that we're going to continue bullish, because this is a lot of bullish momentum, right? So if it creates a high and pulls back and creates some support, I think there's a very good chance that it's going to retest the high because of the strong momentum. You know, it's a new 1 hour candle. Look at the size of the previous 1 hour. So I'm expecting we should see some form of pullback.
Yeah, plus the hour didn't have much range, hasn't got much of a wick to fill.
Yeah.
And it's pushed up already in the first few minutes as well.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see with that one. But while we chill out for a sec with GJ, let's break down some other pairs, do some fresh analysis here on gold. So gold. So it seems like gold has come up to this daily resistance area, right? The current daily candle, you know, it's created a bottom wick. It's also broke the high of the previous daily candle, but we're not really sure if it's, you know, going to continue bullish, if it's going to start to reject this zone. So we have to take a look on the smaller time frame. So when we go to the 4 hour, so looking on the 4 hour time frame, seems as though price made a high up over here at 1955. It's retraced during the Asian session, and now we can see that this 4 hour candle is trying to create some support here for the London session. So if gold is creating support on the 4 hour, that means there's going to be support being created on the smaller time frames, and there's a higher chance that we're going to come up and retest this high. Let's take a look on the 1 hour. Yeah, so it seems like this 6 a.m. 1 hour candle was the confirmation for some further upside here, because we had a support form down over here, and then we had a bearish candle close on the 1 hour time frame, which created a resistance. So you would expect the next one to continue down, but it couldn't, because the next one created a support, and then the next 1 hour candle broke that high to continue up. So we do have a resistance up over here, which would be the high point. Let's take a look on the 30 minute. So on the 30 minute, we have another range here, because we have a resistance right over here. So it seems as though the 7:30 a.m. candle closed at this resistance. So if this next 8 a.m. candle, since it's created a bottom wick, if it breaks the high of the previous 30-minute candle, I think there's a very high chance that it can continue moving bullish to 1952 actually. So if it breaks this high, I think there's a very good opportunity for gold to continue to 1952 400. Since it's breaking this high, it's already created a bottom wick. Obviously you could use a little bit of an aggressive entry. Stops like 20 pips on gold, so you'd have to scale down on the risk, but it's a 2-to-1 risk reward based on this range here. So I think that would be a pretty good move there on gold. Let's take a look on the 15 minute. Yeah, so the 15 minute broke the low of the previous 15 and then broke the high. So it's like a liquidity grab here, but it created support right over here. Yeah, it seems like gold's going to continue bullish over here. I think that's going to be, it's going to be pretty good. So yeah, gold should continue up. Okay, we'll come back to Euro JPY. Let's just check out gold here for a sec, because I think gold is going to be a nice push here. Man, you should be up around 10-11 pips on gold. 13 pips. Yeah, it may have some issues at this wick, which is around 16 pips, which is probably where you could secure something. Obviously, I'm just talking out loud, but you never know, someone might be in buys. You know, you could secure something at this wick just to secure positions, because this was a rejection wick, and then you could let the rest run to retest the high. Yeah, see, there was some rejections here on the 15-minute time frame. This candle also rejected this area, so you would want to be cautious, but still pretty good. take a look at GJ. Yeah, it looks like GJ is retracing, kind of tapped into that resistance. So just gonna wait here for some form of pullback. So we can remove that and that. So I think the next target, if we're going to be a little bit more conservative, let's say from a 15-minute perspective, because this zone seems like a potential rejection area, I'm going to put the target at 145.50. So this is going to be around, yeah, 15, 17 pips away. So going to be looking at a continuation maybe to this area. Oh yeah, starting to pull back. Nice. Awesome. That's what I like to see. So obviously we want to see some form of pullback. Again, some support created probably within this zone, and then we can wait for some support, take a buy, retest the high, and then we can have a good day, you know. But I do recognize that this was the move. This was the initial move, right? But then when price makes the high, it gives you an opportunity to, you know, catch a piece of that pie. But not always. So we have to make sure that when we wait for support, it's what we want to see. It's a good confirmation. So just waiting. Oh, looks like gold broke that wick. It's retracing a bit. See, this is why gold is really important, to just secure positions where you think it's going to cause some issues. So yeah, around 14 pips. Okay, let's go FTSE 100 here. So take a look on the daily. Seems like the FTSE trying to continue bullish on the daily time frame. On the 4 hour time frame, we had a resistance over here, and the 4 hour candle came up and it closed and broke above this resistance. So it seems like this 4 hour candle's done a retest and then tried to continue up. It's kind of retracing a bit. Let's take a look on the 1 hour. Okay, so because this previous 1 hour candle closed bullish, we're seeing a little bit of a pullback here, probably for the London Open, and then we should see a continuation based on the 30-minute. Yeah, so the 30-minute broke the low of the previous 30-minute, but this happens a lot of times and then continues. So we'd look on the 15. Yeah, so on the 15-minute, if we just remove this, because this is kind of really the only important zone here for a sec. So on the 15-minute, we would want candles to be closing above this zone, some further support created, and then there's a high chance that this high is going to get retested. So something we're going to look at. So come back to that. Oh, it's flipping bullish. Yeah, we have to wait, man. Have to wait for the candles to close. GCAD. Let's have a look at GCAD. Okay. Start with the daily here. So a little bit similar to GJ, except that the daily closed below this support, but then I suppose you had this area here, which seems to be where this daily candle is reacting off. Let's take a look on the 4 hour. Yeah, it seems as though it's reacting off this 4 hour support to the left at 1.72400. If we look left, we're also going to see how we had some consolidation here and a resistance. So maybe this is the point where GCAD's going to continue back up to or retrace to. Take a look on the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour time frame, we had a support form down over here. We had a resistance formed over here. I think that's in the Asian session. So since then, we had a 1 hour candle come up, close above this area. So there is a opportunity for GCAD to continue moving bullish. Because the higher time frames are still in a downtrend, you know, you could have some issues in this area here, which is probably why this 1 hour candle closed below this zone to the left. So then you always say to yourself, okay, well, you need something or support, something with confirmation to give you more volume. So look on the 30-minute. Yeah, so you see how this 30-minute candle closed weak. I would say that we are reacting to this area to the left currently. So maybe you want to wait for these highs to break, and then a continuation is probably going to be safer. So we'll have to see how he's set up. And then I think it's got a good clean range here on GCAD, so we have to wait. to see what happens there. Euro JPY, let's do some fresh analysis. Looks like the Asian session analysis played out. So yeah, Euro JPY seems like it's trying to move bullish. On the daily, broke the high of the previous daily. Let's take a look on the 4 hour. 4 hour, it did react off this support that was discussed in the Asian session. We are trying to break above this resistance over here. So if we break above this resistance, then we can continue on to this next area on the 4 hour. Let's take a look on the 1 hour. Yeah, so the 1 hour candle came up and it closed above this resistance. Oh, is GJ pulling back? Ooh, lovely. That's what I like to see. Yeah, nice big pullback. So we can look for some support and a continuation. Yeah, perfect. Let's go back to your JPY. So, 4 hour. So 4 hour candle, we need to wait to see on the smaller time frames if support is being created above this zone. So when we look on the 1 hour, the current 1 hour is pulling back. So we need the current 1 hour to be closing above this area. Take a look on the 30-minute. Now, on the 30-minute time frame, it gets a little bit more tricky, right? Because actually on the 30-minute, we have a resistance right over here, which is actually where we closed at. So we can see we're actually just rejecting this 30-minute. So now people are going to say, okay, how do you use this as confluence? Well, to be honest, since the 1 hour candle is closed above, we would want the next 1 hour candle to obviously respect this area. But then if you keep in mind this zone, if you start to see support being created, then what you would want to say is, okay, I'm expecting this high to break and for price to continue. That's kind of the confluence that you would look to have. So we do have another range here. It's probably not a big range, but we have to be cautious. Yeah, it's only like 7-8 pips, so not really a good range. But either way, even if price retraces, it's probably going to retrace maybe to this previous high point, create some support to continue back up. But yeah, we'll have to wait for Euro JPY. But this is very messy to the left on the smaller time frames. So there's not really that much range. But yeah, I think the move happened to be honest, the move actually happened at 7 a.m. You know, you see how we had this consolidation from the Asian, right? Price broke up over here, started to make a high, pre-London, retrace, support created at 6 a.m. 6:30 a.m. broke this high, came to this area, and then 7 a.m. came up to break this high and continue on. 15-minute candle closed bearish, so again, just waiting for something. Let's take a look at GJ. Oh, that's quite a deep retracement actually, but very nice. So the 15-minute candle closed bearish. It broke the low of the previous 15-minute candle. So we just have to wait over here, see what happens. But it's nice to see a strong pullback, if I do say so myself. Oh, and finally, Euro NZD. You need to check out Euro NZD. Oh, Asian session analysis played out as well, but very late in the session. Okay, so let's start from the daily. So current daily candle is bearish. So on the daily time frame, we do have a lot of downside to the left because we see these clean moves. Let's take a look on the 4 hour. Yeah, it seems like a break and retest from the 4 hour time frame over here. During the Asian did the retest. So let's take a look on the 1 hour for a sec. So yeah, so looking on the 1 hour time frame, we broke out this consolidation. We created a resistance over here on the 1 hour for the next 1 hour to continue down. 30-minute time frame. Yeah, so even on the 30-minute, we had a support formed. We had a low formed, and a support over here. And then the 7:30 a.m. candle came down and closed below. And the next one's also trying to continue down. So for the 15-minute time frame, you would want this 15-minute candle to break the low of the previous 15-minute for price to continue moving bearish. But yeah, let's wait and see what happens with your NZD. So let's look on the 30-minute as we look left to see, you know, where could price go to. Probably gonna have to go back a fair bit. There we go. Okay, so it seems like we're at a support here. So let's just draw this out because we'll come back to it. So we have a support over here. We also have another area of issue around 10, 11 pips away. Right over here. And then after this zone, then we have some clean candles at that point. Much better to the bottom of this zone here. So let's go back. Yeah, so it seems as though we have a issue area right here, which is probably why this candle's struggling to break down. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But this is definitely the best zone on your NZD. Yeah, it's like a 30 pip range. So we'll see what happens. Okay, let's go to GJ. Ooh, look at this for a pullback, man. Yeah. I don't think we had quite as strong as a pullback yesterday, but the difference here is, like I say, whenever I see a big move in pre-London, I'm always expecting a pullback at London Open, always. But when I see a big move, when I see price setting up before in pre-London, right? When price is setting up, let's say breaking above a resistance, like let's say this candle was the 7:30 a.m. candle, then I would expect the 8 a.m. to continue, you know. But when I see a big move in pre-London, like this happened at 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m., I'm expecting a pullback at London Open. So that's what I'm expecting. So yeah, we're seeing a big pullback here. So I just want to move this zone. It's irrelevant now. This zone, relevant now. This zone is relevant right now. Is relevant. But where we could look for retracement is obviously the area where support was created in the first place. Is always a point at which a retracement could happen. So this is kind of the zone where we went bullish from. So we'll see. But this is a deep retracement. I wonder if it's going to correct this move up. If it corrects this move up, then maybe this was a liquidity grab on the higher time frame for further move down, because we don't know yet. 4 hour hasn't closed. It's still got an hour and a half to close, so we don't know. It's a very deep pullback. Yeah, this is a hugely deep pullback. So I think we're going to have a little bit of sitting on our hands here this morning, but it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I don't think there's any news today.
Oh yeah, I didn't even check news. That's a good shout there.
I'm gonna have to hop off for a meeting, but I'll be back shortly, guys.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Well done on catching that trade.
Cheers, man.
But yeah, no.
Oh, nice, you caught it.
Yeah, he caught a piece of
Nice,
the
man.
move.
Some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a piece of it. I wish I caught all of it, but I'll be back in a bit anyway.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Cool.
See you later.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Yeah, so we've got some Euro news here at the moment, though. So actually, anybody in Euro NZD or trading Euro JPY will just be a little bit cautious. We've got some GP news at 9:30, but I don't think there's anything to worry about. We've got GBP news at 2 p.m. Bank of England. So yeah. But there we go. But I'm still gonna journal this move here. Always gonna journal this move. I'm gonna do that after the stream. But hopefully we're going to be able to get a nice trade here today. So yeah, so yesterday we nearly hit 100 views at one point. I had a peak viewing count of 92 at one point. So that was fantastic to see to start 2021. But it'll be nice to get to 100 viewers this year. GPU news only tonight when Gov Bailey speaks. Yeah. It could be for the Bank of England. It kind of depends what's going to be said. I mean, I'm not really expecting anything different to be said than what is kind of being said anyway. But yeah, there's always a little bit of volatility. But yeah, we've got 65 people here. Awesome. Yeah, so I'm wondering to see if London. Sorry, I'm waiting to see if this move, this pre-London push, is gonna get corrected, because I've not seen this much of a deep pullback before. So we'll see. Because we have a wick right here, so this could be an area where it starts to close above and start creating some support here too, around 140, 160. This is kind of the other area I'm looking at, because then we have this whole clean range to fill again. So to retest this high is around 16 to 20 pips, so it's definitely a good enough range, but we need to see where this 15-minute candle closes. But yeah, great to have. We've got like 65 people on at the moment, so big thank you to everyone who's coming on, supporting what I do and what we do here. So it's fantastic to see the stream growing. So yeah, but I like to say that we provide a lot of value here. I like to say that. Oh, let's check out gold. How did gold do? Oh yeah, so gold did continue moving bullish, so it did continue up for around. So yeah, you could have got 20 pips, 22 pips out of that move there. That was cool on gold, so that's pretty nice. I'm gonna put that up. So trades called, gold buys. Yeah, I'm just waiting for GJ today though, but still another potential move that's gonna be yeah, another potential move that's gonna be journaled. Should continue this stream. Yeah, no, this stream will be continuing for as long as I'm around, I suppose. Well, obviously, we don't know what the future may hold. I don't know how long I'm going to be on this earth, but yeah, I'm not planning on stopping anytime soon. So yeah, it seems like we're having some issues at this wick area, which is potentially where we're now going to start to create some support. Let's take a look on the 5-minute. So the 5-minute candle creating some support, but it's it's very weak, so we need to wait to see how the 15-minute starts to set up. Trading is boring. Also, I like trading alongside many people here because it improves my discipline. Yeah, trading is in theory it's boring because you're just staring at a screen, you're just waiting for candles to close. So yeah, in that sense it's boring, but I mean, man, it's there's not many other things that you can do for 2-3 hours and make money with a whole daily wage within that time. So I think it's worth it. I think it's worth being a little bit bored. But I think that's what makes this stream, having people on the Zoom call, all doing it together, all chatting, and occasionally just changing up the conversations, like talking about the lockdowns or whatever. It just keeps a little bit of interest going and keeps us I just suppose it keeps us interested and makes the time go by while we wait. So we've got 1 minute and 50 seconds for this 15-minute candle to close. I feel a buy is good if the next 15-minute candle comes down first, not exceed the current 15-minute wick made, and as it flips bullish, enter buy target 7 to 10 pips. However, if it goes up first without coming down, no entry yet, better wait, skip it. It's up to you. It's up to you. Obviously, you have to understand when, you know, with that concept that you're looking at, it could work. It could work, but you wouldn't have waited for a support, because to wait for a support is to wait for a candle to close in your direction, which is always going to be the safer confirmation. But Vance, you're your own person, and if that's what you want to do, then go for it, buddy. But you know, if it doesn't work out, you know, then you do have to say to yourself, okay, well, how could I have taken a better trade or the winning trade? And I would like to say that I would already know the answer to that question if it doesn't work out, which is going to be, should have waited for the candle to close. But if you're planning it and it works out, then that's fine. If you planned it and you didn't work out, you know, this is where you're going to learn. So I'm never going to say, oh, that's a dumb trade, or you gotta learn for yourself that if that's a bad decision, then you'll know.
Yeah, I think the candles at the moment, they are printing bearish, and like the easiest thing to do would just be to wait for support. But obviously, like with your trade yesterday, the candles were like weak candles as it was now. But these candles are quite a bit seem to be stronger, and maybe leaving all wick to fill. So yeah,
that's true. I mean the other thing as well is we don't know. Even if, okay, let's say this candle closes as is, and let's say the next one just comes down, right? And let's say he waits for that, and then it comes up to flip bullish. It could be the candle just creating a top wick, you know, and then it starts to continue down again and fill this wick. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We don't know yet, so I'm just waiting here. So looking on the 15-minute time frame now, so we did see this 15-minute candle come down. It seems to have tapped into this liquidity zone, which was created pre-London. So we could potentially now start to head up. But again, like, I'm not going to rush into buys just because I think it's going up. I'm going to wait for a candle to close in my direction, see if we get support created, and then I'm going to feel confident taking buys to, you know, retest this high. But I'm actually like because in December, you know, it like psychologically affected me a little bit, but now coming back fresh 2021, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, you know, I don't even really care if the right entry doesn't present. And it's been a long time, like it had been a while since I felt like that. So it's good for me to feel like that, because if I don't care, if I miss this move, I know I'm not getting FOMO. I'm not feeling anything right now. Even if this 15 minutes surpasses the high, I'm not looking to take a buy, you know, because we don't really have enough range. We have a resistance 7 pips away. We have a support 11. We have a resistance 10, 11 pips away. So it's not really enough range. So yeah, I just gotta wait. I'm just gonna wait. And that's it. The other thing as well I don't like is look how strong this 30-minute bearish candle was. You know, this next 30-minute could easily start to wick up, right, and then start to come down and fill this wick. You know, so I'm going to be super patient. We don't even know. Maybe in an hour, you know, 2 hours time, this whole move up's going to get corrected. You know, we've seen a pullback. We see a weak bullish candle close support, and then the next candle breaks the low and it continues down with this clean move. We've seen that. So I'm not in any rush to do anything right now. And I think that's the best way to be.
Yeah, I think it goes back to like just trading what you see. Like, yeah, you can picture what you want to happen, but at the moment, like you said, that 30-minute was quite strong. You just don't know.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm just gonna chill out over here and just see what happens.
I was going to say, do you think the reason why you kind of felt, you know, like you said, like near the end of last year, you wanted to see a kind of setup happen, and you'd get like a bit frustrated if it didn't? Do you think that had anything to do with like it was coming towards the end of the year, and like now you see the whole year ahead, and you think I've got the abundance there?
Yeah, I think it's partially that. I mean, a lot of good moves just weren't working out. Was another thing in December. So when good moves weren't working out, it's almost like, okay, now I'm trying to even be better than the market, which just didn't work. That's a mistake that I made, because if you think about it, if a good setup doesn't play out, then you do have to say to yourself, okay, well, why is that? Well, it's not the fact there wasn't the volume, because we saw the volume. So what does it mean? Well, it's the end of the year. It's December. We had still a lot of Brexit uncertainty. And if it's at the end of the year and we still got uncertainty, it does suggest then that, you know, the probabilities and things are always going to be lower. So, and plus the pair wasn't moving the way that I was used to it moving. It was moving slightly different, and it did kind of feel a bit weird in that sense, you know? So, yeah, I would say it's that, but having the break coming back, it feels good to, you know, just start the year off feeling relaxed. 2 wins to start the year, and it's like I'm in a position now where I'm like, okay, well, you know, I can just chill, you know, and I can just take it easy and, you know, wait for things that I actually want to see print that work, and that's just it. So yeah, but I suppose like because I was losing good setups in December, and it was almost like for me, it was the most frustrating part was after doing such amazing returns in 2020, you know, like considering I started back in January last year, you know, started with penny lots, and within a year, you know, I was up to 5 lots. To end the year on a bad note, it was not what I wanted, you know. So it was a little bit of chasing. It was a little bit of FOMO, where I gave trades 2 chances and they just didn't work out. And then I was a bit disappointed. But actually, I learned some valuable lessons that, you know, I could only learn with experience. You know, no one can teach you some things that you just have to learn for yourself. You know, but I don't really care now, because I realized I held on to what's important, and what was important was the amazing returns that I had made for the year. So I just held on to that idea, and I thought, you know what, come back 2021, and already within 2 days I've made back, you know, half of the losses that accounted for in December. So yeah, I'm chilling, I'm happy, I'm comfortable, so can't complain.
Yeah.
Sorry, 1 sec, Cos. Can you check
Sorry.
my trade that I took? Appreciate you. Thoughts? Yeah, you need to send the... Okay, let me see if this works then. But you do need to send the code, but I'll check out if this works. So just pull up. Is it slash chart? Actually, no, just go from .com. There's x/... Is there a slash on the end? I can't remember.
I think so.
Yeah, maybe that's why. It'd have been easier with the full code, but
Oh,
yeah. See, if you could send me
not
this,
sure.
see where it says /x, that bit, and then whatever. Can you just, if you if you could just send me that full code, please. That would be much easier, because I always forget. In fact, I'll just take a look at. Yeah, there should be a slash on the end, so why is that not working? Interesting. That should work. If you... Okay. Alright, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to MM's chart when he sent that. So look at GJ now, right? It came up to break the high of the previous 15-minute candle, and now it's retracing. 30-minute candle still open. You know, the other thing as well, what I don't like is how deep it retraced. So even if we do have a 15-minute candle closing bullish, I need to be a little bit cautious on how... Okay, well, first of all, we need to wait to see how the 15-minute candle closes. Just because if it closes too weak, then if the next one just comes down and breaks the low, we know that the overall 30 minutes also going to go bearish, because this would just be the top wick, and then price can continue down and fill this wick. So this is the point where we need to be cautious, okay? Because I know some people are going to be jumping in buys once the 15-minute candle closes bullish, and actually, if it doesn't close strong, you do have to be cautious, because look, it broke the high. If it closes below the body, there's still an opportunity for it to go up, right? There's still an opportunity for it to go up. But if the next one respects this high and then breaks the low, then we could see a correction of this whole move coming down back to 140. So I'm going to take it nice and easy. And yeah, even if I don't like it, I'm just going to stay out and watch, because then at least I've stayed out and watched how, okay, because we haven't taken a trade yet to start the week or the year where we've waited for a retest of the high. So if we see how the first move happens with the retest of the high, it's going to give you more confidence in next week's, or even tomorrow's same opportunity, because it may move in a similar way, so I want to be as cautious as I can be here. So I'm not really liking this retrace. All right, let's just wait the 5 minutes and then we'll come back to it. If you want to send that code, I'll check out your chart now while we wait.
Harrison, I was on a walk this morning.
Oh yeah.
And I was near my house, and I just saw the grass. I looked at it and I was like, "Is that a £20 note?" I picked it up and it was.
No way.
I was like, "What? I've never found 20. I found 10." But I was like, I looked around. I was like, "Is that anyone's?" But obviously, there's no one there.
Hello.
It's mad.
Yeah, that's kind of mad. Well, there you go,
£20 profit.
Perfect. A bit of profit for the day.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter now if you don't take a trade. You made your money. But yeah, no, that's awesome. You know what? The most I've ever found, I think, is like £1, and that is the God's honest.
Really?
Yeah, for real. I've never found a tenner, never found a 20. The only time I actually ever picked up a tenner was when I witnessed someone drop it out of their pocket, but
Gave it back.
Yeah, of course. You gotta do the right thing. Yeah, I'm no scumbag. I know there's some people there that would be really quiet. They go, "Hey, you dropped your tenner," and then you can just see him walking away in the distance. Oh no, I'm gonna have to keep it. And they're gonna pocket that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not one of those people there.
Yeah, obviously you got to feel bad for the person that's lost that 20 though, because
no, of course, man, you got to do the right thing. But obviously, if there's no one around and you just found a 20,
I'm not just gonna leave it.
In that situation, I would do the same. 100%. I mean, you'd end up spending that much just to get down the local police station just to hand in a £20 note.
Yeah, true.
And then they'd be like, "Yeah, we'll make sure this gets back to the owner." They're gonna pocket that one.
Straight in the pocket, yeah.
Yeah, on their 30 grand a year wage, mate. That's gonna pay for their curry tonight. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, well, there you go, man. Bit of good luck, eh? Vance, just got my 7 pips. Good risk to reward scalp. Stop loss 2 pips at current candle wick low. Glad it worked out. Not 100% of the time. Willing to get into this trade because I've got 7 pips from pre-London. Yeah. So if it worked out, then great. Of course. But as you can see, while what I was advising you is just because you saw how much it retraced just a second ago. But look, if it played out for you, I'm not gonna bash anybody here. So yeah, but obviously if you take that same trade again and again, and then you start to lose more than you win, that's the point at which you need to say, okay, this setup is too risky, and in the long term it doesn't make sense, but I would say obviously the trade that you took was probably one of the most riskiest trades that can be taken, but hey.
Yeah, especially with a 2 pip stop loss.
Yeah,
very aggressive, but it worked.
Yeah. I think he's lucky that it's kind of moving just gradually, but we've seen some very volatile. Yeah, see, let's already come down and just nearly flip bearish, but hey. But well done, Vance. Well done, mate. He's got a winning trade there. I think he took 2 trades today, so I think Vance, now you should take your profits, mate. Call it a day. Go and enjoy the rest of your day. That's my advice to you, my friend. Morning, Wilson. Yeah, see, look at this 15-minute candle now. It came all the way up to break the high, and it retraced to close, well, potentially to close a week bearish, but we don't know how it's going to close yet. So I'm not trying to call it yet.
Did you see? I saw on the news actually that all the exams have been cancelled for like
Yeah.
A levels and GCSEs.
Yeah, so that's gonna affect my little brother. Because
Really?
My little brother's got his GCSEs this year. But the issue for him is that because of his, like when we first went to secondary school, right? For you UK young ones, I don't know if you know. If you're probably a bit older, I don't know if they used to do it. But in the UK, we've always done, remember the SAT tests in year 6.
Yep.
So because my brother back then, he had like a little bit of learning difficulties and he didn't do very well in his SAT. So his target grades for secondary school are just awful. Like, they're predicting him like really, really low grades. But actually he's not. Like, as he's got older, he's, got much better and he's improved a lot. But yeah, so his target grades are shocking, and because of how much school he's missed, in March he missed like 3-4 months, then they had the summer break, and then back in Christmas they were doing just online learning for a little bit at one point, and then he's missed out on a lot. They haven't even finished the content for a lot of his subjects, and yeah, so I mean, I feel bad for him because he's saying like, look, he knows he can get good grades. Like, I know they changed the grading now. It's like, like 1 to 9. But whereas we had A, B's and all that, didn't we?
Yep.
But yeah, they changed the grading for him. And yeah, like pretty much, he's predicted grades are really low, and he's not really gonna get an opportunity to prove that he can get better grades, because their mocks were supposed to be in like March, but if he's not going in, if they can't do the mocks, then the teachers can't even get a good representation of potentially how good he can do. So
Yeah, there's so many kids that each teacher has.
Yeah,
there's just so many kids as well. Like, and you think now he's going to be worrying for the next 8 months what his grades are going to be. He's got nothing else to do, is he? I suppose.
No, not really. I mean, he's still like doing schoolwork and stuff, which is good. He's still revising as if they're still happening, because I suppose in his mind he's thinking, well, the next assessment he gets is only going to be his only opportunity to show that he can do well, because they were supposed to have mocks beginning of this year, but then they postponed them because obviously they said, well, look, they just missed out on a few months of school, so we can't expect them to do mock tests now. So he's literally, it's kind of fucked it for him a little bit, but hopefully it all works out. HFX, are you still in school? No. I left school like 4 years ago now. Well, more than that. It would have been 5 years ago. I left school when I was 16, and I'm 21 going on 22. So yeah, many a time ago. Never let schooling get in the way of your education. That's true. There's plenty of ways to educate yourself without school. So I like that.
Get your brother on the charts.
Yeah.
That's the next option.
Get him trading. Get him trading early. He'll be the 15-year-old. I think there is a 15-year-old trader, but ooh, look at gold buys, man. Called that one out. Look at that. No pullbacks, no bearish candles, just straight bullish on gold. Yeah, that was a good call actually. I think I'm gonna. So yeah, look at that setup. That was perfect setup. You could add a 22 pip stop loss, and then as price started pushing into profits, gold's one of those. You just want to get break even as soon as you can. Could have secured positions on the 30-minute candle, let a position run. Boom, that was a lovely call. So that whole trade ran for 80 pips. Wow, that was an 80 pip call called out on gold buys there. Pretty nice. Did anyone catch that move? I don't know. Obviously, it was just one of those that I just spotted it and I was like, yeah, that's going to continue bullish once we break this high over here. Yeah, so look at the 30-minute. Exactly what I was concerned about was the fact that the 30-minute can make a top wick and boom, continue down. 15-minute. because the 15-minute candle closed bearish, it does mean that the next one could also print bearish, but just still chilling, just still waiting over here. No FOMO, no nothing. I started Forex at 13. Lol, it's in the blood. Yeah, nice. Wait, what? Freddie started Forex when he was 13. How old are you now, Freddie? I swear you're...
That is crazy.
I think he's our age. I think he's like 20, 21. Man, he's been... he's one of the Forex originals. I started learning when I was like 17, 16 maybe.
I was 18.
Yeah, I found out about it when I was 16. I found out about it. And then I was looking at just, you know, your typical like crap, like EMAs and all that sort of stuff. So I didn't actually properly, start until I was, like 18. But yeah, there you go. He did. Oh, he did at 13. Wow. Couldn't open a live account till I was 18. No, I'm still 18 now. Oh, he's 18 now. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Oh, he's originally into stocks. Nice. Very nice. So yeah, looking at GJ now, I mean, we could correct this whole move from pre-London. I think it's very possible. Does seem like price wants to continue down. I mean, if we break these wicks here, then we may not even get the opportunity to take a sell to correct this move. This could be a no trade in here today. So yeah, don't know, just gonna have to wait. I mean, obviously, if even though the 30 minutes are retracing, that suggests to me that probably gonna want to wait for a 30-minute support, just because of how big these 30-minute candles are. And you know, if we think 1 15-minute may not be enough to push us further up, but I don't know, we'll see how it prints. Just gotta wait. We've got a lot of time here to chill. So Freddie was originally into stocks. That's pretty nice. You know that Sean Atwood guy? Oh yeah, I've heard of him. Man, to be fair, if you got to think about it, like if you're 13 and you start learning about that sort of thing, I think you're gonna go far. Man, because not many kids that age would even know what that is or even think about it. You know, most kids are still playing computer games, you know, till like 3 a.m. at that age. So to even start thinking about it is progress in my books. Yes, the setup is risky. I'm done for the day. My scalps are only 7 pips or so because my 25 lot size. I usually wait till the last 15 minute of the hour, but 2 pip stop loss was too good to pass up. Yeah, well, man, it worked out for you, so fantastic. I mean, if you use the 25 lot, wow, you must have made a fair bit there in a matter of a couple minutes. So yeah, hats off to you. Oh, I missed one here. Rani, hi, any advice on USD CHF? My advice to you on USD CHF is if you could send me a chart of what you're looking at, I can definitely give you some advice on what I think. But I don't look at that pair, so, and I'm just waiting here on GJ. So yeah, if you want to send me a chart, I'll be more than happy to look at that pair, mate. No problem. There's no buys now. Really got to wait. Support could be expected at 140 round number area. Yeah. The only issue I have is if it comes back to 140, it would mean it would have corrected this whole push for pre-London, which is something I don't like to see for a continuation, you know, because like we shouldn't be if we're going to continue bullish, I wouldn't say we should correct this move. I wouldn't say that's... Yeah, I wouldn't say so. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. So even the 1 hour candle's got 6 minutes left. Yeah, no problem, mate. If you want to send a chart, it's gonna be a lot easier, and then looks like this candle's trying to go bullish. Yeah, we'll have to wait for this candle to close, because if it starts to push too far up, it's probably not even going to give us any point of entry or anything like that. So just chilling, just waiting. I got a master's degree in finance in Seattle. Nice. You still don't even know what the fuck to do in my life until last year when I was 26. Wow. Yeah, I mean, look, like, I don't think it really... Obviously, it matters a little bit what age you start to realize what you want to do. But I would say, look, you can't go back. You can't say, oh, I wish I did this when I was 18. Like, I could say, oh, I wish I started Forex when I was 10, you know, like, or whenever. But it just doesn't work like that. Like, you know, whenever you made the decision in your life, you know, that's the point at which you just have to work for it. And that's it. You know, there's no going back on anything. So just look forward. That's it. Look forward. So you're 26, man. You got plenty of time to change your life. You know, if you think you got till from 26 to 30, you could seriously level up financially. And then your 30s, man, you could be living your life. You know, 30s could be the prime time of your life. You know, you could be trading full time. You know, you just got to think about your aspirations. Okay, 5 minutes left for the 30, 5 minutes left for the 15. Let's see how we get on here. Yeah, I think so too. Too many people. 2020 is their worst year, but is my best year ever since I finally realized what I want to do for the rest of my life. Yeah, exactly. Like 2020 was probably my best year too. You know, like I sat there when we first went into lockdown and stuff. I was thinking, oh man, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And I was actually sat there. I was thinking, you know what? This is a potential opportunity I'm never gonna get again, to have this amount of free time, right, on my hands. I am not gonna waste it. So I spent that free time fucking working my ass off to make something of myself, you know. I'd already started doing things before that, but I knew that I'd been given a gift. You know, I've been given time that, you know, when you're working full time, or when you're, you know, doing day shifts, you know, you're tired by the time you come home. You know, you know, I still did it after that, but I'm just saying, like, when I had that time, I wasn't one to make excuses and be like, oh no, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna be bored. You know, that's for people who don't have ambition. That's for people who don't have goals. You know, when you have free time, you need to be working on your goals. You need to be working towards something. So okay, so we've got 3 minutes left here. Now, obviously, if this 15-minute candle closes bullish, I think the only condition I would like is it to kind of close above the body of the previous 15-minute. The only reason I say that is because I don't want to take a buy if it closes, say, like as it is now, because it's still respecting the high of the previous. The 30-minute also is still going to close bearish, although it's not a strong bearish candle, right? It's still not a good enough confirmation for me yet that we're going to continue up. So I think if this 15-minute candle, let's say, closes over here, right, then, you know, we could take a buy with like a 9 pip stop loss, and then expect price to continue up to retest this high and continue on. But yeah, we got to wait these 2 minutes here, because if the 15-minute candle closes bearish, then there's no buys. Sells are pretty risky at this point, because, you know, the move was bullish. This is just a retracement. We don't know it's a correction yet. For a correction phase, I'll tell you what I want to see for a correction. I would want to see something like this. So let's say this candle closes bearish, and let's say the next one goes bullish, but it's like this, it's like a weak candle, a little bit of a wick, but it's nothing special. And then the next one wicks up a bit, right, and then breaks the low over here, right, then we would expect with more volume, because it's now 9 o'clock, right? And if we're going to start to head up, we need to start creating support. And then we can say, okay, we would mirror this candle to come down back to correct this move, So, yeah, just going to wait. And then if it just corrects it now, then I want everybody who sat out on all of this to give yourself a round of applause, because you waited patiently, nothing presented, and you saved money today. You saved your capital today, and you live to trade another day. So see now, this 15-minute candle broke the low over here. It's breaking these wicks. I think we're going to come down and correct this move now. So I think there's nothing here today, I'm afraid, guys. So far anyway. Yeah, look at this. We're correcting the move from the pre-London. In fact, I was like, see, this is where 2020, man, it leveled me up, because I learned so much. I learned about London session, exactly how it works. If there's a move in pre-London, London opens 90% of the time, it's going to pull back. And look what it's done. It's pulled back, and actually it's correcting this whole push. It's correcting this whole move. So the 30-minute and the 15-minute about to come to a close. The 30-minute candle closed bearish. The 15-minute candle also closed bearish. So there's no buys. There's no sells, because there's not enough range at this point. Yeah, there's 12 pips, but yeah, there's not really. Yeah, I think there's nothing really to do at this point. Take a look on the 5-minute. 5 minutes not kind of. It's 5 minutes kind of messy. So there we go. So it seems like the best move here today so far has been the gold buys. Looks like the FTSE here. Let's check out the FTSE. So we see how these candles were respecting this area. Then we had a candle come down and close below this zone. So think if it creates like a resistance over here, FTSE is going to continue down. Even correct the same thing. Looks like the FTSE and GJ doing something similar here. GCAD also gone bearish, right, after we was thinking that it was going to go bullish. See, it broke these highs over here, and then it came down and came back into the range. So yeah, Euro JPY created support, right, but still now it's coming down to break the low. 15-minute, yeah, the 15-minute candle closed a weak bearish. Yeah, it's not looking good. Euro NZD, yeah, still reacting to this area here. Still reacting to this support. Let's take a look on the 15. Yeah, it's kind of reacting to this area. So what we would want, if I just remove everything here. So we had support here. We have resistance formed over here. Let me just remove that. I hate it when it does that. I like the nice smooth. Okay, and now what we would want is you would want a 15-minute candle to close below this minor support here, and then you would expect price to continue down. That's what you would want. So yeah, just wait on that. So there we go. Yeah, GJ's been tough today, so I think it's good. I think it's good that I sat out of this pullback, this move, everything. Um, 2020 was the best year for me as well. Other people wasting their time learning how to make dalgona coffee. I'm here grinding Forex and made way more than my previous years. That's it, man. That's it.
Like even worse, some people they're trying to like wait for this all, like drinking, waiting for it to be over,
Yeah,
and it's just
yeah,
not gonna be.
yeah, yeah. That's right.
And when are they gonna realise?
Yeah, I bet you got some people there that were planning to do like dry January, and now they're like, oh well, what the hell, you know? We're back in lockdown, but it's not the right attitude.
There's so many ways to make money online now. I mean, like obviously when people lost their jobs, they must have kind of realised that eventually that the government isn't going to help you. You're only going to help yourself.
Yeah, no government's gonna help you. If someone says, "Oh, the government's gonna help," then they're a fool. They're definitely a fool. Yeah, no government's gonna help you. So we got what, 55 minutes for the 4 hour to close. So the only thing I would say is obviously like if the 4 hour closes bullish above this resistance, the only thing I can think is maybe around pre-New York hours. That's where we're going to see the wick fill and a continuation. But that was quite a mighty pullback. So the 1 hour candle closed. It was a huge pullback on the 1 hour. The only good thing is that it closed above this previous high. Let's take a look on the 30-minute. Yeah, well, we can't really do much until we at least get a support formed on the 30-minute, I think, anyway. So we'll just have to see. Yeah, just gonna have to wait. I don't think if anything doesn't present by like 10:30, then more than likely it's just gonna range. It's just gonna consolidate. But then the other time that there's gonna be volume, it's gonna be MY open. So maybe you come back for MY open. I personally think for buys, I would want to see a 30-minute candle close bullish. Yeah, I think I'm going to wait for the 30-minute. Because this pullback was way too strong. So we need to be more cautious than just waiting for a 15-minute candle. Seems like enough for today. Yeah, I mean, look, the proper move, it happened way too early. Like, well, not way too early, but it happened earlier than I was like ready. So yeah, nothing we can do. Yeah, also this 15-minute candle is quite big, so yeah, probably just gonna wait for the 30 because then the 30 should pull back a bit and then the next one to continue. Thoughts on gold? I think the buys happened, but I mean, you could have taken buys once this candle broke resistance, but it would have been risky because we'd already moved up so much. Yeah. But yeah, it made sense. Pretty big stop loss though.
Yo, yo.
Yo, bro, what's going on?
Good. Meeting's out of the way.
Nice. Yeah, don't worry, didn't miss much.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we saw a
Just
big
retraced
retracement.
hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very hard. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go make a drink in a sec. I've been waiting for a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna go make a drink quick. I'll be back in like 5 minutes or so. Yeah, all right. I'll be back in like 5-10 minutes.
See you in a bit, mate.
Yeah. So, just in case I missed this, if the 15-minute candle closes bullish, obviously there is an opportunity for price to continue, but I think I'm gonna be good and wait for the 30-minute to close, just because I don't like how big these two 30-minute candles are. I think it's gonna be better to wait for the 30-minute candle to close. I think it's gonna be the safer option here. Plus, if you look at the 15-minute now, anyway, like stop's gonna be pretty big. So, yeah. But we'll see. Right, okay. I'll be back in... Yeah, I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
Obviously, you catch any trades this morning?
Okay. Okay, we're back. So, if we look at the 30-minute candle now, 30-minute candles closed bullish. I'm not going to take buys because if we look at the stop loss is around 20 pips. If we look at the 15-minute time frame, the 15-minute candle closed bearish, had a wick to the bottom. So probably going to wait here because can't really take entries while the stop loss is too big. So just gonna have to wait and see. The only potential option that we have, I'm not sure if it's gonna be, I think so. Basically, right, when price makes a support, right, and then we measure the range and we say, okay, well, there's only 9 pips to this resistance. But let's say, okay, because since we've created this support over here and we're expecting price to continue bullish, I would say that, okay, if the next 30-minute can break the high of the previous 30-minute candle, there may be an opportunity then for price to continue. But let's just take a look at all the time frames here. So we've got 28 minutes left for the 4-hour time frame to close. It's fairly evident that it should close above this area. Let's take a look on the 1 hour. Now the 1 hour candle is still open, but it is trying to create some support. It's got 28 minutes left to close. If we go on the 30-minute candle's open. It's created a support over here. Now looking on the 15-minute time frame, the 15-minute candle, it came all the way down to this area here, and it closed with a small body. If we say break the high of the previous 15-minute time frame, we could then continue moving up to 14400. But then we're looking at, I'm not sure at this point. I think we're gonna need at least to see this 30-minute create some form of bottom wick, because that's kind of the point where we would look for maybe like a stop loss placement, and then we could expect once we break the high of the previous 30-minute to continue moving up. But we're not really sure yet if it's going to do that, because a lot of the times I've taken entries, let's say as this candle's coming down, keeping the stop loss below the previous candle, and then since it never broke the high, price is just going to come straight down. So I do want to be like cautious. Plus I'm already up for the week, so I'm not going to want to take a bad trade here on a Wednesday. So just going to wait. I mean, we've been waiting a fair bit, obviously, but I don't want to wait all this time to then, make a bad decision. So just going to chill for a second here and then see. Because as well, the other thing as well is we've only got 26 minutes left for the 4-hour candle to close. And, the 4-hour candle came all the way up to make this high. Realistically, is it going to come back up in 26 minutes, all the way back up to its own high? It's probable, but it's not realistic. So, yeah, we'll see from a 15-minute point of view. But, yeah, I mean, we still have this zone here to think about too. This was a zone, this was a resistance, because, this candle came. Okay, so let's think about it from a 15-minute perspective. So we had this candle came down, closed below this area. We had this candle then that came up and it closed back above this area. And then it seems like this 15-minute candle did a retest of 140, this zone here. So, I mean, maybe the better option is going to be if it can pull back a little bit to the zone and then start to create some support to continue up. Wait for the 4-hour to close, wait for a little bit of consolidation, and then wait for confirmations for a continuation. But I mean, there is a possibility that this candle or the next or the actual 30-minute candle can break the high of the previous 15 and then continue running up. But I find that so if we wasn't in the last 20 minutes of the 4-hour close, I would say it's probable. But since we are, it's making me more inclined to stay away, just because I don't see how we could go all the way back up to the 4-hour high in the last 20 minutes. it's like a 30-minute retracing, and then in the last 2 minutes of the 30-minute, it goes all the way back up to its own high. I find it unrealistic, but again, we don't know. You know, yeah, we don't know. So just gonna, I suppose, have to wait and see. But yeah, I do think though, if this 15-minute candle does break the high of the previous 15-minute candle, that could be the catalyst. Could be the catalyst for price to continue moving up. Very well could be. Okay, sorry, I missed a few questions here. Half an hour for 4 hour to close in this range. Yep. Only way I see to enter the 15-minute buys if you use MAs. Price touch 1 hour 50 EMA. 15 200 EMA during first 2 minutes of candle open while breaking previous 1 hour low, which should indicate a move up instead. Yeah, I don't really use EMAs, but I mean, if that's what you're looking at, then that's good. But then again, this is hindsight. I missed the MA entry. Happened too fast for me to realize. Yeah, he went to go hit that bong. Yeah, no, I didn't go do that, but I wish I did. I haven't used moving averages since 2018. Yeah, no, that's actually neither have I. I think MAs are good for another confirmation. I think they're better for higher time frame. If you're a trend trader, like higher time frame trend, then EMAs are pretty good. They show, you know, overall trend. I don't rely on MAs too much, but I find them helpful for those sniper entries. Yeah, could make sense. Use all the tools. I mean, aren't you trying to win? Well, to fly to fall, you know, these tools, are they necessarily there to help you win? I mean, that's an opinion, isn't it? Because can EMAs, can moving averages, can volume indicators, can they really tell you where price is gonna go? And the answer is no. They can only indicate, which is why they're called indicators. They can only indicate based on what they're trying to achieve. So if a volume indicator is saying that there's a lot of volume for buys or a lot of bullish volume, then, you know, it's just indicating that is that's happening. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that just because it's doing that, price going to go up. You know, I have winning trades all the time, not even using one single indicator. So I don't think they're necessary. I think they're just part of comfortability as each individual trader. Nice. If you're on 25 lots, you know better than me. Now, I don't agree with using all tools. Don't want to overcomplicate things. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Now, it just means that my losses are bigger than yours. Yeah, it's true. Not like that. I'm saying use everything at your disposal, not clutter your chart. Yeah. I mean, you don't need to use everything at your disposal. I mean, like, the candles are going to tell you more than any indicator. That is fact. The candles are going to tell you more than any indicator. Why? Because these candles were telling you that we had bullish volume because we broke resistance. We also had a weak bearish candle which told us that there wasn't enough sellers in the market, and then we also know that there was a lot of buyers because we came up to break this high and we had a lot of volume. So the candles are going to tell you more than any indicator. Now for my next buys is if the current 30-minute candle comes down to previous 30-minute candle body low, not wick low, and anticipate it doesn't pass the 1 hour candle wick low. Stop loss 6 pips. Could work. I was kind of looking at that, you know, taking entries on the bottom wick of the 30, but what I tend to find is that if this 30-minute doesn't break the high, the trade wasn't valid. So getting in over here is like almost getting in an early entry and expecting it to do something, whereas, you know, I'd want to wait for the confirmation and then expect it to continue, you know. So I think it's going to be better to wait. I mean, I'm happy to have no trade today, to be completely honest. You got to remember as well, like, this is the first week back. I've had 2 trades. Obviously, it was at the start of the week. You know, I'm only going to take setups that I feel 100% comfortable, and I'm not comfortable yet taking any trades. So that's it. But if it doesn't give me an entry, which is a big ask for it to come all the way down to body load, too bad. Yeah, I don't really like it, to be completely honest. I think it's very messy, you know. And again, like, think about it, we got 19 minutes now to the 4-hour close. I'm not really expecting this 30-minute to. I'm not expecting it to continue bullish. If it does, it does, but I'm not expecting it just because of the time. If you look at the 4 hours, well, let's say this 4 hours closing bullish, you know, the next 4 hour could do a retest. And actually, if you look, right, we were rejecting this zone yesterday. So we could potentially need some form of wick down into this area on the next 4 hour candle to continue price up, you know, and then come up and fill this range. When I see rejections like these, I'm always looking for, okay, well, can we reject to go up? You know, over here we have rejections, right? You can see these rejections. When we moved bullish, we had these rejections here to the downside to continue further up. You know, it's that kind of concept that I'm constantly looking for on the higher time frames. Three minutes left. I mean, there's a potential that if this 15-minute candle closes like a weak bearish, and then the next 15-minute candle breaks the high of that candle, then maybe. But again, the only thing putting me off is the fact we're coming into the last 17 minutes of the 4 hour. That's the only thing. But if the current 30-minute breaks its own high, you know, it would be aggressive entry. But there's an opportunity for price to continue bullish, keeping the stop loss below the current 30-minute. So you wait for the first 15-minute to set up, which is going to be this 15-minute candle right here. It respected the low of the previous 15. The only thing is it respected the high. So then you say, okay, well, what would be the condition? Well, the next one, we need to break the high for price to continue moving bullish. But it's obviously a bit of a riskier entry. So, yeah. Okay, so if we look at the 15-minute candle, the 15-minute candle closed bullish, right? But it closed like a weak bullish candle. But at the same time, you could say, okay, the first half of the 30-minute candle did close bullish, right? But yeah, it's just the fact that we've literally got now the last 15 minutes of the 4 hour is the only thing that makes me cautious. I still believe that the best confirmation for buys is going to be the break of the previous 30-minute high to continue up, and then we should reach 144.00. That's the best buy that I can kind of visualize here, but yeah, I don't know yet. Let's see how the I don't know, let's see, let's wait.
Up for doing a simulation this weekend, H.
Yeah, I think we can do a simulation this week. Weekend, sorry. I'll
Sweet.
probably do one as a group. It just was over Christmas. I wanted to get simulations done for the new course that's coming out on the 10th.
Okay.
So I wanted to have some pre-recordings just available,
Nice.
just so when that comes out, people have got some good educational simulations, and then we can obviously do ones as a group, because the ones as a group,
Yeah.
they're going to be a little bit slower. There's going to
Yeah,
be more
yeah.
questions throughout. But the ones that I do on my own, I can flow through it quickly.
No, of course.
And I can just get them done hour, and then you get a full week's worth of like trading data that way. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
100%, man. Don't worry, we're gonna smash out some sims.
Nice.
But when the new course comes out, man, you're gonna have plenty of stuff to be going through.
Nice.
Yeah. But there you go. Okay, 12 minutes left here. $30 minutes time to flip bullish. Yeah, see, this 15-minute candle closed very weak for me to kind of really expect us to continue up. That's why I'm thinking the only real great opportunity for buys is going to be this break of the previous 30-minute high, and then expecting it to continue on. But maybe this 30 minutes going to close like a weak candle, and then with the new 4-hour open, we continue. But I'm not really sure at this point. So I bet we've broken the high of the previous 15-minute candle now. So I wonder if this is going to be the push here. So obviously if you're getting in on the break of the 15-minute high, you'd want to keep the stop loss. Yeah, maybe below the previous bearish candle to be conservative, which is going to be like 10 pips. But if you're going to be a little bit more aggressive, it's going to be around 8 pips below the previous 15-minute candle. But I just don't like the 4 hour. The fact we got 11 minutes to the 4 hour. That's the only thing that's putting me off. Otherwise, if I was going to take an entry, it would be here with stops below the current 30-minute, and then expecting it to continue up. That would be my trade. But I have to say, yeah, I may just sit this one out and just see how it plays out.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't the last sort of 10 minutes of the 4 hour, it'd be a good idea.
Yeah, because when price makes support like this after making a high and it's not very clean, usually what happens is it's going to break the high, and then it's going to break. So it's going to break this previous 30-minute high, and then with volume break this high and make a new high.
Yeah.
For example, where's a good example?
I would imagine the next 4 hour candle is going to want to make a bottom wick as well before it goes up as well, right?
Yeah, I would have thought so. Oh, there we go. It's breaking the high of the previous 30-minute. Yeah, I think I'm going to sit this one out, see how it plays out, and just journal it. Yeah, no FOMO here. Yeah, I don't like the fact we've only got 9 minutes to the 4 hour close. So I'm going to sit this one out. But in theory, if I was to... In fact, I'm going to paper trade it in my head. So the entry's here. The stop loss is below the current candle. Right? There's just a paper trade. And then I would secure positions up over at 14400. And then if it breaks 14400, then you'd expect it to continue on to 145.50. That would be the paper trade. So if we look on the 15-minute, yeah, I think it could play out actually. I'm just going to paper trade it. I'm going to be good. I'm going to make sure I save the profits. And
Yeah, you've had a good week anyway, man.
yeah, literally 2 days and £550. So I'm not going to...
It's just Wednesday as well, so...
Yeah. See, when I see price action like this, I'm like, at least I'm, getting, like, I'm adding that extra discipline to say, okay, I'm already up. It's not exactly how I like it, so just stay out, paper trade it in your head. Because then at least if I paper trade it and it loses, I'm going to sit back and think, wow, I paper traded it. I didn't lose a penny. I learned a lesson without having to lose. I've still got it in my head that I'm in the trade. So I'm like, okay, how would I manage this trade? Well, I know how to manage this trade because if the current 15-minute candle, say, flips bearish, then I would close 50% at that point for those who are maybe in buys, right? Because, at that point, it's broken the high. It shouldn't really be retracing that much because you're expecting it to continue once it breaks the high. So we'll see. So if the 15-minute candle goes bearish, I'd close 50%. Your stop loss would be down over here. So you could also say, okay, well, if the candle breaks its own low, then maybe that's the point at which I close another 50%. And then you're going to have saved yourself a lot of pips. Because you close 50% here in like, what, -4 pips. Then another 50% at like -7. And then you didn't get the full 11 pip loss, so you really manage the risk. So I'm just see how we go. I don't think I think there could be enough momentum because when price is moving slow, like sometimes it's gonna have a big gasp of volume, but it's just the only thing putting me off is the last 6 minutes of the 4 hour, just because of that big pullback. But hey, it may continue actually. It may just continue running, and then at least I know that I had the right idea. I waited all day, and I waited for one opportunity. I didn't execute, but in my head, I'm like, okay, that's exactly where I would have taken my entry, But it's just not the ideal setup. So we just take it slow and just learn without losing, So that's why, when people ask me, okay, how's the best way to start live trading? I'll always say, okay, I would watch it for a few weeks and then I would paper trade it. Because when you paper trade, it's almost like, okay, you're waiting all day. Okay, let's say you're someone who's not trading live, but you're paper trading and you've waited all day and you're like, man, I just want to take a trade, but I know I'm only paper trading. And then you see this entry and you paper trade it and you lose. You're going to learn something without even taking a loss, before you even started live trading. And in trading, it's just like anything, like is confidence. Confidence is one of the most important things. I've done a whole webinar just on confidence because it's such an important aspect. There's been times where I've been so confident because things are going well, and then the minute I have 2-3 losses in a row, it's amazing. It's incredible how much confidence you can lose. So I realized that with myself. I'm like, well, when I'm not confident, I don't do very well. But when I'm confident, I'm at my best. So keeping the confidence level strong is a very key aspect to keeping your ability as a trader to be strong. So part of confidence is not taking dumb trades, is not jumping into trades for the sake of it. So part of me keeping my confidence is, okay, well, I'm not going to want to take a loss today, right, on a setup that I'm not that confident in, you know. I'm expecting it to continue up, but I've already put doubt in my mind, right? So I'm not confident. So I'm not going to put money on the line. I'm not going to put money, I'm not going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm just going to almost put it in my head. I'm taking the trade. And then if it does win, I'm like, okay. So I'm still asserting the confidence like, oh, you know, next time that happens, I can execute because it worked out, you know. But if it doesn't work out, then I'm like, okay, I know why it didn't work out, and I had the confidence and I had the ability to say I'm not putting money down, and there you go, you know. But I just find that when a lot of traders, when they start losing a few times, the confidence goes very quickly. You know, market can do that. So you want to almost keep your confidence level at a certain point the whole time. You know, don't put yourself in positions that's going to knock your confidence. If you do the right thing and you take a loss, understand its probability. If you make a mistake, just learn from the mistake. But try in every situation to keep the confidence high. You know? So see, like, it's got 3.5 minutes. Is it realistically going to continue up? Definitely can. But, oh, it looks like it is. So here we go.
Yeah, actually, it looks like it is though.
Yeah. Look, 3 pips over here. See if it works out. If it works out, then, you know, I called out the entry. I said that's what I would look for. It just happened to be, you know, right at the end of the 4 hour, which is not ideal, but it is what it is, I suppose.
You know, for next time.
Exactly. There's always something to learn.
Oh man, I've properly started journaling now, and it's made such a difference. I feel like it anyway. Just like recapping over everything, you can see like as you say, so you know for next time you're in this situation, you know, like missed trades, successful trades, and unsuccessful trades. Just good.
Like, it's really good for like reviewing the week as well. When you go back on the weekend and just like see it all.
Yeah, definitely. Did you take any trades this morning, Multi?
No, I've taken this week just to like watch how the market moves and that. I'm going to be back next week.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good decision. Volume could come in at the last 3 minutes of the candle close. I would say with like 15 minutes and 30 minutes potentially, but when we're coming to a 4 hour close, usually there's a pullback with a 4 hour close. That's what I find a lot. Usually. But it's not to suggest that it happens every time. Oh, there we go. It's breaking up. Can it continue on to 144.00? Because the other thing as well, right? You've got to think, this is the first week of trading, and we see this move happen, and it happens next week. What are we all going to have? We're all going to have the confidence to execute, because we knew that in the new market conditions of 2021, that setup played out, you know? So I think, yeah, maybe could have got entries based off the 15-minute break of the high, but I think that was more riskier because it could have broke this high and then continue down because it was a weak candle. So I think the best thing was always take the entries based off the 30-minute. But obviously, if you took the break of the 15-minute high, you know, should be up around 9 pips at the moment. Can bring stops, I would say, below the current 15-minute candle. I think you can have a good day. Cyclo Games is in it. Cyclo, did you get in on the 30 or the 15? Oh, looks like it's going to continue bullish here. Awesome. If you took the break of the 30-minute high, you should be up around 6-7 pips. So since if you took the break of the high, you're moving into profits, right? You can now say to yourself, okay, well, now I have an opportunity to manage this trade. You know, I have an opportunity now to, you know, if price pulls back to my entry, you can close 50%. You know, you can manage the trade at this point because look, we've got what, 3 seconds left. and you're only up around 6-7 pips, so maybe it's not going to make sense to hold it if it pulls back to your entry, you know. So you really, okay, so now let's take a look at the 4 hour. So 4 hour closed bullish, right? It did come up to its own high actually, which I wasn't expecting it to do, but that's fine. Looking on the 1 hour, the 1 hour time frame closed above this resistance here on the pullback. So actually I would say now this paves way for the next 1 hour candle to also continue moving bullish. I think 14500, 145.50 is going to be a good target. Let's take a look on the 30 minute. So we do have a resistance here, but at the same time we rejected this area. It's pretty good. Yeah, so I think you should be securing positions at this point. Pretty sure. Yeah, nice. I think 10 pips over here. There you go, 10 pips. Perfect. So it did play out. Played out very nicely. It's breaking above 14400. Awesome. TP hit. There you go. We waited all day. We waited all day here today. And there you go. That was the move. Awesome. That actually felt, like for me, that felt really good to like stay out of it and then see it play out. It just reasserts the confidence in the ability, and just, you know, yeah, man, I could have had 3 wins this week.
It was a good shout, mate.
Yeah, we'll see what tomorrow brings. But yeah, very nice. I'm gonna journal that one. Journal this trade. So see, it would have been perfect as well because, you know, the stops would have been below the current 30-minute candle, and then you would expect it to continue up, and yeah, it just continued. And if we look on the 1 hour time frame, the 1 hour's created nice structure to continue price up. So I think it's pretty good. Looks like 140, 450's incoming here. Oh, it's moved around 15, 16 pips now from the entry. So it would have been like a zero drawdown trade too. Just continued. Very nice. We had 2 calls out here today. Been a pretty good day on the stream. So we called out gold buys. Called out GJ buys. Perfect. Yeah, paper trade, journal. Awesome. Prepare for 2021. And it's so nice because the entire analysis from last night played out. You know, I spoke about if the daily candle breaks the high of the previous daily candle, that I think we're going to continue moving up. So I think it's really nice to see that play out here. Oh, looks like we've just hit 144.50. Nice. Missed the entire buy. Didn't have the confidence of this new 1 hour candle to follow through bullish. Was expecting a retracement at 1 hour open. Yeah, I mean, look, if you don't have the confidence, you just have to look at it and say, okay, where could I have entered? How could I have caught this move? And then if you keep seeing the same thing happen over and over again, you're going to know for next time, or, you know, a few times down the line, where you can get in this trade, you know, and then you're going to feel much more confident taking that next time, you know. So this is all where it started, you know. When I first saw this setup, same thing. I was like, well, how could I have caught that move? There was no confirmation. It was too big. Stop loss too big. So that's where you just learn, you know. You just learn. Keep losing tiny has been a real game changer for me, definitely. Biggest loss this week has been 0.2% compared to 1% winners. Awesome. Fantastic. Asian session has had no volume yet, and it sucks, but still using that to plan trades for pre-London, London Open. Yeah, you can do that. I think, you know, when Asian session comes around, it's the new daily candle open, you know, so you can look at the previous daily candle as a guidance for, you know, where potentially the next daily candle is going to go. But yeah, GJ was just beautiful here. I think people could have caught 2 sets of buys here today. You know, you had the initial push at 7 a.m. and then we had if we waited till 10 o'clock, we had the break of the 30-minute high right over here for price to continue up, and it's still going, still moving. So you'd be up around 17, 16 pips from your entry point. So I think the next target here is 145.50 on GBP JPY. Always say it a bit too quick. Next trade's going to be in NYSE for me. Hopefully I catch the next retracement leg. Hey, that's up to you, Vance, but I'm pretty sure you already had 2 trades today, so my advice to you, buddy, is to call it a day. But, you know, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But there we go.
So I didn't realize I wasn't on mute when I was screaming out good morning.
Oh, yeah, no, it's cool, don't worry. I didn't really hear it that bad. Are you in the office, are you?
No, I sat in the kitchen.
Oh, fair enough.
Working from home now until, I don't even know when.
Do you prefer working from home or?
In some ways it's alright. In other ways, I have enough of, like, it's not nice when you sort of finish work and you just move from the kitchen to the front room, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I suppose, like, after a few weeks, it's like you get a bit sick of the same place, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like, I don't know, when you turn up to work as well, you're in the zone, you know, like this is where you work. And then the other thing I've noticed as well is sort of the lines are blurred, so like you can get work calls from your colleagues or whatever sort of at any time because they know that you're at home with your laptop, you know.
That's true. Yeah, you're about to press the buy button on a trade, and then you get a work colleague phoning you up, and you're like, man, go away.
Yeah. Got more important stuff to do.
Yeah. And then it runs up within like 2 minutes and you miss the entry.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I reckon this is gonna keep going for a while, you know.
What, GJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if we look on the higher time frames, I think the daily's just gonna continue pumping.
Yeah.
And then even tomorrow's candle, let's say because we have a zone here, on the higher time frames, let's say the daily candle pulls back a bit and closes like somewhere over here. Even then, it still paves way for the next daily candle to like start wicking down and then continue moving up. So I definitely now start. So this is what I always thought. All right, I knew because it's the first week, institutions are getting back into the swing of things, right? And I looked at the support and I looked at this whole breakout and I said, okay, well, this support was created on the last day of the month, right before we had the push up. So if we retrace back to this area and we fail to break this support, this could be the area at which price continues up, almost like this push down was a higher time frame liquidity grab. Like, let's take a look at the weekly now. Imagine this weekly going bullish. It makes sense because this previous weekly candle came down, then went bullish. If this one does the same thing and it breaks its own high, then we're coming up to, like what, 142, or even higher on than that on the higher time frames. So I think it's starting to make sense. So that's when I said on the pre-Asian analysis that if we break the high of the previous daily candle here, we can continue moving up, because there wasn't a confirmation for that yet, because this previous daily candle closed too weak. It was a doji candle, and whenever I see a doji candle, I always see, okay, well, it's one or two things that's always going to happen with a doji. If price breaks the high, it means that there's more volume for buyers, so price is going to go up. If the next candle just comes down and respects the high, it's going to fill the wick, meaning that this was like a price came down and there wasn't enough volume at that time, but then now more sellers are coming in, and that's why the wick gets filled, and you usually see a continuation. But in effect, you wouldn't know just based off this one daily time frame, this one daily candle here, whether we were going up or down. So when I came to the charts this morning and I see we were breaking the high of the previous daily candle, immediately I was like, okay, it's buys, it's all day buys, But then my only issue was the fact I'd just woken up and this area, this unclean area to the left. So if I just woken up and there was clean traffic, I would have taken buys, probably even just set a stop loss and gone back. I wouldn't have gone back to bed, but just let it run, because I knew on the daily, at that point, once we broke the high of the previous daily, which was over here, that we would just continue flying. So, So it's nice to just get the higher time frame analysis right. Then you come on the smaller time frames and get that right. I mean, there was some good opportunities today, and in fact this week has been a really good week for opportunities. But also I didn't want to go too hard, like I wanted to ease into it a little bit, but obviously the two entries that presented on Monday and Tuesday, they were just based on like seeing it happen plenty of times, and seeing something happen in the first week that you've seen happen a lot of times, is good to execute, because then you're going to start off on a confident note, because you're like, oh yeah, I've seen this, I feel confident executing. So, and I didn't feel as confident with this because I've never been in a situation where I've seen this move happen, but there's only 15 minutes left for the 4 hour to close. So I was like, okay, well, I know if the 4 hour wasn't about to close, I would have taken these buys, but I didn't want to take it because I wasn't 100% sure. So now seeing that it still played out, even with the 4 hour coming to a close, it gives me that extra confidence to say, okay, well, you know what? Maybe next time I don't need to worry about that as much, because I hadn't quite seen that same scenario happen at that particular point in time. So, yeah.
Yeah, I got a question as well. So, how do you go about just deciding when's good to increase your lot size? Like, do you give yourself till the end of the month? Or do you purely go off the back of confidence and like your track record? Like, if you're in form?
I would just say like it's a bit of I suppose it's a bit of everything. Like, I mean, there's no specific time before you can increase. I would just say
Yeah, no, I was more asking for you personally. Like, how do you go about it? Because I think
yeah, sure.
I've seen you increase it, but I don't know, like, whether it's been like you've got to the end of the month and you feel like, okay, cool, yeah, like that was a successful month, I'm up overall, I'm going to decide to go up like another lot or so.
Yeah, I would say it's a bit of that. I would say as well, it's about like, okay, so for me, I went through, I think it was like 4 months at one point of just being on one lots. And that was because I didn't feel like I was ready to increase because I was still a little bit shaky. The other thing as well is, I'm never going to increase my lot size until I feel comfortable in the current drawdown. So part of when I increase my lot size is just about trying to get comfortable or make sure I'm comfortable with the current drawdown with the current loss. So I would say that if you've been profitable for around a month, right, on a specific lot size, then I don't see why not you can't increase it a little bit. I wouldn't say jump like, like I know some people will be like, well, I had £1,000 account, I traded it for 2 months, I was profitable both months, I'm now gonna deposit 10 grand and I want to now go straight to, I don't know, 5 lots, right? But beforehand there was only trading 10-cent lots. That for me makes no sense. But let's say you had £1,000 account, you did really well, you were trading 10-cent lots and you had a good month. I would say, yeah, I think you could go to maybe 50-cent lots. That's a fair jump. You don't need to be too conservative and be like, well, I might just go to 20-cent. You can say, okay, well, 50-cent makes sense because I know now I've got the confidence to execute on trades that I can or I see happen a lot of times, and then it's not that much of an increase in drawdown, so it's not going to affect me psychologically. I always found that if I ever like when I went from 3 lot to 5 lot, I found the drawdown at first a little bit daunting. So it's taken me November, December, and till now to actually start getting comfortable with the 5 lot drawdown. Only now have I just started really getting comfortable with it. So now I'm like to myself, okay, well, if January goes super well, and then I'm probably going to say for this year, February as well, I've said by March, I'll be looking to increase again. So I think you need to just set yourself a goal. Like you can say, okay, well, maybe if I have a good month for January, like for you, you could say, okay, like what lots, I mean, you don't need to be embarrassed or anything. Like I started with penny lots. What lot size do you trade right now?
Yeah, so I'm up to 1 lot now.
Perfect. So I would say if you have a good month in January, then I think February, you'll be ready to bump it to two lots.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go like 1 to 5 or 1 to 3.
No. I think listening to what you're saying about watching yourself going to drawdown, I think I'd freak out if I was on 5 lots and I watched that happen.
Yeah. Especially like, when I first went into 5 lot, like instantly you're in a £50 drawdown.
Yeah.
And then when it's like 3, 4, 5 pips, you're seeing minus
250 quid. Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, now it's real. Like this is real. Like, I can lose that right now. So
it's mad.
Yeah, so I would say, mate, if you smash it in January, I would say keep the momentum going, and I'd say bump it to 2 in February. That's what I would say. And if you're doing well, I don't think there's much difference between 1 and 2. Obviously, the drawdown again is the difference, but just ease into it. I always say the first week you increase your lot size, don't focus on like, oh well, now I'm going to secure £200. Focus on, okay, now's the time to be focusing on the risk management, because if you focus on your risk management, then you're going to come out with smaller losses, you're going to feel better about the drawdown, and then when you win, you're going to feel great because you're like, okay, perfect, I did what I usually do and I've become more cautious. So yeah, that's my advice to you, mate. I would say February you'll be ready to bump it to 2 lots.
Nice.
Definitely. But there you go. So you was actually one of the original members of the one of the first members. So you've been here quite a while then.
Yeah, I've been here for a minute now. It's been good.
Yeah, that's good, man. So you
because we all done a sim ages ago, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That was back in summer.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think I was on holiday when we actually done the simulation.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Whenever I go on holiday, I always take my laptop with me. I'm never gonna not have the charts, I just can't do it. Like I have to look at them. Like obviously because I'm live streaming, I wasn't live streaming then. If I ever go on holiday and stuff, I obviously won't be live streaming. But for the guys in the group, like we can just jump on the Discord. So that's the benefits like of being in the group is. Whenever I'm not live streaming, we can just Discord allows you to do a live stream through Discord, so I can just go on my screen. Us lot in the group can all just come on, and do you know what I mean? There's no pressure to it, like because obviously when I'm on a holiday, I'm probably only gonna look at the charts for maybe 1-2 hours and just see if there's a move. If not, go sit out in the sun. So that's it. What was I gonna say? We had a question here. Yeah, not gonna force a trade for the rest of the day. If a perfect entry appears, we'll only enter 5 lots for bonus profit. Not gonna enter with full size as usual. Okay, yeah, I think that's at least a better option, definitely. Because you don't want to give back your profit to the market. I would say you're gonna feel so shit doing that, especially after 2 trades. If you took 1 win and then you want to leverage your profits to see if you can take a second win, I would say if you're very experienced. Pardon me, sorry. If you're very experienced, then that could work. But taking 2 wins and then going for a 3rd trade, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. What lot you off to next? I think, okay, depending on how January goes, like I could bump it in February, but my aim was in March to increase. So this time round, I'm just gonna go say from 5 to 6 lots, because between 5 and 6 is not really much difference. It's just an extra £10 in like spread roughly. It's only like an extra fiver or tenner in commission, so it's not too bad. It's not that much of a jump. So probably go 6 lots in I'd like to say February, to be honest, but my overall goal was by March to be on 8 lots, and then by summer my goal was to be hitting the big 10.
Come on.
Yeah, big 10 by summer. That would be the that's the goal there. But
Drinks on H.
But I'm not trying to like focus. But I'm not trying to focus on like, I'm not trying to focus on that. I've just got that in the back of my mind, like, okay, just do what you do every day, and then in a few weeks' time, it's just a little. You're just paying yourself. It's like a bonus. It's like a promotion. Like once you've been doing well for a few weeks, it's like, yeah, I deserve a promotion. I can promote myself. So yeah, I think if January goes well, I don't think there's any reason why I couldn't bump it just to 6 lots. I mean, it's such a minuscule difference. Yeah, so that's looking like the plan. Man, I'm from Vietnam. The living cost here is around 500% a month. Damn. Imagine I can get 10 pips on 10 lot every day. That would be a dream come true. Yeah. Yeah, see, but it just takes time, man. It just takes time. Any dream of anything takes time. I truly, as I've got older, I've actually truly understood that concept. Like people, when I was like 17, 18, I was probably quite an ambitious person, but I didn't really understand myself that well. I didn't really understand success and business that well, because you haven't got that much experience in a lot of things. And as I've got older, I've just started to realize like things really do take a lot of time to build, and now I just view everything like, I don't know, like when you plant a tree, you got to nurture it. It takes time to grow. You got to see to it every day, and that's just literally like your skill. You just got to see to it every day. Make sure you're replenishing that skill every day, and just it will grow over time. It will, and that's it. So if you just keep focusing on improving, even just a little bit every day, even if you learn one thing, even if you spend 10 minutes a day coming back on just 10 minutes. Or even 5 minutes a day, coming back on the chart and just seeing where you could have entered, where wouldn't have been a good idea to take a trade. You've learned something, and you imagine 100 days of that, 200 days of that, a year of that, how much better you could be. It's incredible. Yeah. And then think, okay, well, if I can make that much progress just with 10 minutes a day, now what about an hour a day? Or if I trade live every day, or what if I do all these things every day to be better, like do pre-analysis, post-session analysis, journaling my trades, all these things. It's like the snowball effect. Over time, it's gonna build momentum. The snowball's gonna get bigger. You just got to push it so the ball starts rolling. So for those of you who just haven't started, which are probably not going to be a lot of you considering you're here, but for those of people who probably not even on the live stream, but who haven't even started, you know, you're only doing yourself a disservice. You got to just make the start, you know, and then you just go from there. Yeah, then we're gonna call it a day here soon as well, in about 5 minutes time. So yeah, so let's look at the other. I haven't even looked at the other pairs in a while. We've been so focused on GJ and blabbering on. So gold is continuing bullish over here. Oh yeah, looks like gold was just buys all day. So actually from the entry that we called out on gold buys, oh wow, 100 pips. 100 pip gold buys called out over here. Wow, very nice. Yeah, see, again, you want to be journal. I never can say it right. Journaling these moves, because you know similar things are gonna happen on different pairs, different time frames, everything. You know, candles can only print so many different ways. You know, a bullish candle can only print so many ways. You know, so you just get to learn what different candles kind of suggest what's going on, you know. Like, it doesn't take a genius and for you guys to work out that these candles all seem like they were rejecting this area, you know. So that's something that you're going to pick up on very quickly. So you can now scroll back and say, okay, well now I noticed these candles were rejecting, well these candles were rejecting, right? And then you're going to start to notice, okay, well we were rejecting here, and then this candle came up and broke this area, and then we can see we had a little push. So maybe when I see you're already starting to build something in your brain already, because you're saying, okay, wherever I see rejections and then I see price come up and break through the rejections, there's a chance that it's going to continue in that direction because it's no longer rejecting there anymore, you know. And already you're starting to build like a system in your head. Same here, we were rejecting, then this candle came up and broke through the rejection zone, and it continued. But yeah, gold was a great move here today. Check out the FTSE. Ooh, so yeah, looks like FTSE did a fake out over here, didn't create resistance, and then it did continue moving bullish. So FTSE continued moving bullish, so did the pound. Obviously, GPJPY continued moving bullish. GBP CAD didn't continue moving bullish. It's actually created resistance on the 30-minute. Let's look on the 15-minute. Now, on the 15-minute, it's just consolidating. So that's why we're not seeing volume with GBP CAD, because we can see here on the 15-minute time frame how the candles are just, you know, consolidating. They're breaking lows, respecting highs. So it's messy, you know. So when you see this, it's just best to stay away. Euro JPY did continue moving bullish. Let's go to the 30-minute. Yeah, so it created support. Unfortunately, done a liquidity grab over here and then continue moving up. So obviously, remember the same setup on GJ. When price makes a high and then it creates some support, when the next candle breaks the high of that support candle, there's a higher probability for it to continue up. So that would have been the entry there on EJ with stops below the previous, the current candle, and then you'd expect it to continue with the volume to continue up. And then you can see once this candle closed, you could just kind of hold the trade at that point. Even then, okay, let's say, how would you manage that trade just for learning purposes? So let's say it broke the high. Let's say, okay, so it went bullish, so your entry was here, you was up around 7 pips, and then this 15-minute candle, it broke the low right over here. So when it broke the low here, you had an opportunity to close 50% in like a 1.5, 2 pip profit. Now, I know that's not a lot of profit, but it's not the point. The point is that you took some positions off the trade, not in a drawdown, not in any minus. So you're already, you know, your loss is automatically going to be half of whatever you was going to lose, because you've taken 50% off in a little bit of profit. And then let's say you let the rest run at that point. When the next candle came up and started breaking the high, yeah, it was just perfect. You could secure positions, and so there you go. So always giving examples here of how you can catch trades and how you can manage trades, because then it's just going to get implemented into your brain. And then finally, Euro NZD did continue moving down. So let's take a look on the 15-minute. Okay, so what happened here was we had a 15-minute candle come down and close below. Obviously, the next one, we wasn't really here to watch. But let's say, let's just say you took entries on the close. Stop would have been around 8 pips. And yeah, moved around 7 pips into profit. Came back up in the range, so it was hard. But then once this next 15-minute candle closed below, that would have been the second chance that you could have given those sells. And then that ran for 24 pips. Okay, so if we look on Euro NZD, you know, the first sell, okay, didn't work out. But then when you wait for extra confirmations, this was the second chance that you could have gave your sells, and then price to continue down. So when this candle was pushing into profits and then pulls back to your entry, you know, again, could have closed positions in a smaller loss. And in fact, this candle never broke the high of the previous candle. So when it closed bullish, you could have closed even more positions, let a small piece run, that would have got stopped out. It would have been a very small loss, and then you wait, and then you get the extra confirmation to continue down. So yeah, there we go. So guys, I think here is going to be a good opportunity to call it today. If we look at GBP JPY now, this previous 30 minutes, it came up and it closed below 144.00, this resistance to the left. I mean, I think it still can continue moving bullish. I mean, I think this retracement could be as we're coming into like pre-New York hours now. You know, if we form support here again on the 15-minute time frame, there's a high possibility that the next 15-minute candle is also gonna continue moving up. But either way, yeah, good day here today. So we discussed the buys on GJ, discussed where the entry could have been, where the stop loss could have been placed, the targets, everything was reached. So it all played out. The only thing that worried me, which I spoke about, was the 4-hour close was coming up in the last 15 minutes. So it didn't make sense for me to want to get in the trade just in case you got caught in some form of 4-hour pullback. But there we go. So you know for next time. And yeah, so technically would have had 3 wins here this week, but look, it's not the point. I'm still up for the week. It's pretty good. Tomorrow, just, you know, it's going to be the last trading day for me. So just going to take it easy. No stress, no FOMO. Start the year off right. Start the first week off right. And then next week, be ready to smash it. So we had, GPJPY buys were called out. And then gold buys were also called out, which ran for around 100 pips. So that would have been super nice there. So anyway, I'm going to head off now. So guys in the Zoom, thank you very much. See you tomorrow morning. Guys in the YouTube, thanks very much for coming on. Really appreciate it. I hope everyone has a good day. No over trading. Okay.
In a bit.
Yep, see you, mate.
Take care.
Yeah, see you. So yeah, no over trading, guys. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your trading day. And we'll be back tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. GMT.